What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about crypto strategy and what actually drives the market, how you can position yourself to make the best moves in today's market. Let's take a look at the daily charts. You can see in crypto bubbles, a lot of your coins have been down in the past day and past week, largely due to geopolitical tensions, right? You're seeing a lot of geopolitical tensions right now in the world, so that has an adverse effect on the markets. These are events that we can't predict, but you need to learn how to be patient during this time and not overreact, not panic sell. These are lessons that you have to learn. But looking at the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, you can see a lot of people were thinking Bitcoin would go a lot lower, but you can see it was a fake out, and now we are back to where we started. And a lot of your altcoins dumped a lot harder than Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin only had maybe like a 5 to 10% dump. A lot of your altcoins, like Caspa, for example, dumped quite a lot more. But I'll make another Caspa video in the future. There's nothing to worry about in my opinion. It is a prime time to buy more Caspa, but we'll get to that later. In this video, I want to talk about the entire market as a whole. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is at all-time highs, basically, right? For this cycle, at least, it is sitting at about 59, almost 60%. And I believe I should probably move this prediction a little bit higher because it looks like we are going to go much higher. Bitcoin dominance will probably top off around maybe that 63, 64% range. And then that's when we see kind of a drop off of Bitcoin dominance. The price of Bitcoin is still going to rise even as Bitcoin dominance drops, but it's going to be kind of a more slow and steady rise. But you're going to see your altcoins outperform the rise of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin maybe only rises, 10% in that week, your altcoins are going to rise 30, 40, 50%. And that's why Bitcoin dominance drops, is because your altcoins are going up at a much faster rate than Bitcoin. So that's going to happen in this range right here, whenever this might be, right? In my prediction, it's going to be around early 2025, right? So somewhere in that maybe January, February, it could be even as early as December this year. That was my original prediction. I don't think we're going to see full altcoin season, but we're definitely going to see some of your altcoins start to rise as they have been in the past month, right? October has been a very, very good month for crypto in general. October was definitely a prophecy that came true. And I think December, we're going to see more and more gains because of some factors I'm going to talk about right now. Right now, we're making higher lows and higher highs. That's what we want to see, right? Bitcoin is making a staircase pattern, and very soon, I think it can definitely break out. And what's important to remember right now is you have to stay composed, right? We're going to see dips continuously throughout the entire bull run, right? Even when we see massive euphoria, you're still going to see people take profit. You're still going to see drops in all of your altcoins. That is just something that's going to happen, right? That is the reality of crypto. It's very, very volatile, but you need to stay composed. You need to learn to stay composed and have patience, right? These are the 4 steps you need to succeed in crypto. I'm only going to be talking about patience in today's video because I've talked about a lot of these in some of my previous videos, but patience includes not panic selling, right? Reassessing your portfolio allocations, making sure that you're really only holding the very high conviction plays, right? So you don't want to be holding 50 different coins all spread out. You don't want your money to be spread out extremely, extremely thin because it's going to be very, very hard for you to do enough research, right? Have all of your exit targets in place for all 50 of those coins. You want to only be in a handful of plays, right? In my opinion, a good rule of thumb is maybe anywhere from 5 to 15. 15 is really pushing it in my opinion, but you want to have a couple of coins in those really hot narratives, right? Like meme coins, AI, layer ones, right? You want to have a few coins, very high conviction coins in all of those narratives, which is what I'm personally doing. That is my strategy. And then last but not least, you want DCA. This includes DCA in and DCA out. I've talked about this in the past. I won't really touch on it too much in today's video, but right now, this is what I want to get to, right? Historically, Bitcoin rises after elections. This is one of the main catalysts coming up immediately, right? The elections are literally in a handful of days now, right? We're very, very close to the 2024 elections. And you can see every single time we've had a new election in basically since 2016, right? 2016, 2020, and now 2024, we're going to see a massive rise in crypto, more specifically Bitcoin. You can see in 2016, Bitcoin went from $700 to $19,000 immediately after the election. In 2020, Bitcoin went from 14,000 all the way to 67,000 immediately after the election. And in this cycle, I think a very, very similar thing is going to play out. Look at this chart. Look how beautiful this chart is, right? This chart speaks for itself. And in my opinion, I don't think Bitcoin is going to, whatever this chart says, 600,000. No, as you can see, there's diminishing returns, right? The first cycle, or the first election right here in 2016, you can see it was a much larger rise, and then we saw a smaller rise here in 2020. So we can expect to see even a smaller rise than this one in 2020. But still, we're going to see a pump in Bitcoin nonetheless. We're going to see a pump in all of your altcoins shortly after. Another catalyst I want to talk about, which I've talked about in the past, is global liquidity. Bitcoin is directly correlated to global liquidity. Of course, the Fed slashed interest rates a couple of months ago, and this quantitative easing is going to provide a lot more liquidity to the market, in my opinion. Global liquidity is cyclical, and so is Bitcoin. These two charts match up perfectly, and you can see global liquidity is going to rise well into 2024 and 2025. And 2026 is going to be a drop in global liquidity, which is most likely going to be the start of the next bear market. So these two cycles match up perfectly. And what happens when global liquidity rises, right? There is more available capital. That means that investors have more liquidity to put into the markets. You're going to see an increase in a lot of your assets, right? Stocks are going to go up, bonds are going to go up, so is crypto. Most importantly, during a rise in global liquidity, there is a preference for having more speculative and risk on assets, right? So investors, they're willing to take on more risk during this time because they can more easily borrow money, and Bitcoin is probably one of the best investments during this time. So this has been proven time and time again, and it's not going to be any different in today's cycle. So all of these factors, right? The election, global liquidity, they're all leading to the start of the last leg of the bull run, right? We're already in the bull run. We're already, Bitcoin has already gone from 15K to 60K, 70K. But this last leg is going to be where you top off on your profits. Most of you, I would assume, are probably in the profits, or at the very least, you're probably like a bit even, depending on what coins you're in. But most people are somewhat in the profit right now, but you're going to see the major profit very, very soon. And in my opinion, the Bitcoin all-time high will most likely land around late 2024 to early 2025. And then altcoin season is going to come right after that, when we see that drop in Bitcoin dominance. And what are the things you should be doing right now? In my opinion, DCAing into high confidence alts on dips, I am still doing this. I'm still DCAing into high quality plays, right? Quality right now over quantity. That is the key that I want to highlight. You don't want to be in 50 coins and maybe 30 of those coins you don't know much about, and you're just in those plays because someone online told you that this is a good play and you haven't done your research. You want to be in quality. Do as much research as you can right now. 20% cash, 80% crypto is what I think your distribution should be right now. That is personally what my distribution is. Actually, I'm more like 10% cash, 90% crypto right now. And I think it's still a really, really good time. Of course, you're going to have your drops, but that's why you need to stay composed, right? We're most likely going to see dips and liquidity grabs continuously throughout the bull run. If we take a look at Bitcoin really quick, I just want to show you guys what kind of drops I'm talking about. In 2021, when Bitcoin did its initial pump to its all-time high of around 65K, it had a massive drop in around July of 2021, and it went back all the way down to, 29K. So it basically had, it had a 50% drop basically in the middle of the bull run, because right after that, we went back and broke all-time highs and went to 69K. So these are the types of swings you can expect in the peak of the bull run. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know what other videos you want to see. I do have a couple of coins that I really want to make videos on that I think are extremely underrated. These coins are all under $20 million market cap, and I just don't want to make videos on them because I think they could pump way too high, way too quickly. But if you really want to see it, then let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.